So welcome to my first thoughts on the very eagerly anticipated Devil May Cry 5. The final game, not the demo. I played the demo. I finally got the final game from Capcom. It's very late at night here. I've been playing all night and I had to come in here and just say some first thoughts on this game. Obviously, it's not a review because I don't like to do a review unless I'm really far into the game, like at least 80 to 100% done the game. But I really wanted to come in and talk about it because there's a lot of fun to be had and there's a lot of interesting things to go on about here. So first of all, I just want to give my very brief history with Devil May Cry. I first bought the original game back in 2001 when it was released on the PS2 here. I remember racing home from work, picking it up, getting home, and I was so excited. I remember writing on forums back then, going, oh, I can't wait till after work when I can just, juggle enemies in the air and shoot them with my guns. I was very excited. And the game lived up to my hype. I thought it was an extraordinary game, a very dark game, a game that was originally meant to be a Resident Evil game, but through development, it changed and became its own unique thing. And even from some other games where they had some accidental combos of juggling enemies in the air, they incorporated into Devil May Cry. And that became a core mechanic in the game. And I loved it. I really enjoyed it. And then I played the second game, and I wasn't feeling it as much. The third and the fourth game really brought it back for me. I know a lot of people didn't like playing as Nero. I don't know why. I think Nero is a really great character. And especially in this new one, I really like him. Anyways, we're going to get into all of this here. I just want to say that I'm only using footage from the demo. I'm using a lot of new footage as well that I just recorded from the full game. But I got to be very careful about spoilers. This is stuff you got to be very careful about because some people have been anticipating this game for a long time. I don't want to ruin nothing for them. All I'm going to say is there's 3 playable characters, Dante, Nero, and V. And that's all I'm going to say there. I'm not going to talk too much about the new character because he's very unique and a brand new kind of storyline is going on there. And why am I going to tell you about it? You want to play this for yourself. First of all, you can pick English or Japanese. I picked English. And I got to say, the English voice acting is awesome. It's really good. And I'm really enjoying some of these new characters. Nico is such a great assistant character to Nero. She kind of drives the van around. She's an assist character in that she sells you new items and creates brand new devil breakers. We'll get into that in a second. And the funny thing is about her character, she's a really cool character. Everybody online, when the trailer first was released, all that time ago at E3, everybody wrote to me and said, John, your wife looks exactly like Nico. And I'm like, no, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. And then I took this photo of her and I put them side by side. I'm like, maybe you're onto something here, but I gotta say this much. Kim doesn't smoke and she doesn't have a southern accent. But other than that, I kind of see what you're saying. Now, the beginning of this game is unbelievably epic. All our friends are back again and the stakes are high. They're really high. And then the intro begins. And obviously the intro is like a opening movie, a cinematic. But my God, I couldn't believe what a true movie opening it is. And, with the titles and all that. I'm not going to ruin that for you, but wow, you got to see this. It's really amazing. And then you start playing the game with Nero and running around the streets. And the first level is different. It's not the thing from the demo. The demo is honestly the second level, but a smaller version of the second level. There's a lot more to the second level than you see in the demo. The demo really doesn't show you much, which is a great thing. It just kind of shows you a bit of how the gameplay works. But you're running around. It's good old Devil May Cry gameplay again. So you can juggle enemies up into the air with your sword. You can shoot them there, hold them there. And then you have a brand new weapon called the Devil Breaker. It's an artificial arm that Nero uses and Nico supplies them to you. So you can buy them off her. And they kind of allow you to grapple enemies towards you or pull yourself towards enemies, to freeze enemies and do other kinds of manipulations like that. A lot of fun there. And if you're using it and you get attacked or hit, you will lose it. So you gotta be very careful how you use the Devil Breaker. Now it is a hack and slash style of game where you're fighting wave after wave of enemies. It reminds me a lot more of the earlier Devil May Cries. Like, I know that they did that reboot and a lot of people didn't like it, and I included it. Wasn't Devil May Cry to me. It was an interesting action game, but this is returning to the roots of Devil May Cry gameplay where you're going around collecting orbs, using those orbs to upgrade your weapons and items and skills, and that's a lot of fun there. You can also find other orbs that you can get vitality from. And there's also puzzles in the game where if you kind of look in a certain direction, you'll solve a puzzle, and then you can kind of go into that puzzle, per se, and do a little mini quest on the side of your main quest. And I had a lot of fun doing that. You know, it's basically fighting a bunch of enemies within a given time limit. But I have been sitting here all night with the biggest smile on my face. And the one thing I want to say is, Capcom has done it again. They've spent a lot of money on this game. Wait till you see it. Wait till you see it. The demo didn't do it justice. I think the demo is really good, but it doesn't do it justice. What's happening in this game on a graphical level is unbelievable. I was sitting there, my jaw was on the floor at times. I was like, oh my god, look at these graphics and the animation and the attacks that you do, and oh my god, the different amount of enemies. And as the game progresses, you use different characters and you go into different environments, and there's a lot of money thrown in here. And I gotta say, big round of applause. Capcom is back big time. You know, they gave us Monster Hunter World, Mega Man 11, for crying out loud, Resident Evil 2 the remake, which is a 10 out of 10 game to me, and now Devil May Cry 5 has returned to its roots and is up there as one of my favorite Devil May Cry games. Honestly, I gotta say that the first Devil May Cry game is my favorite. That's based purely on nostalgia. It's also a really great game, though. The storyline is interesting, it is epic, it's everything that you kind of want. You love the characters are awesome. And as I say, for me to say that the English voice acting is awesome, that's saying something. Usually the English voice acting can be hit or miss at times in a game. It's really good here. The motion capture, there's a lot of money in this game, and I know I'm repeating myself on that one, but when you see this thing come together, you're like, wow. And it's so much fun going around, collecting red orbs, upgrading your equipment. I found that I downed the first enemy, like the first boss encounter from the demo, really fast because I spent my money on upgrading my equipment and skills. So I had a lot more there than I had in the demo version. And I really had a lot of fun here. And I cannot wait to get back to this game. I mean, Capcom, again, I said it with Resident Evil Remake, has knocked it out of the park. They've done it here as well. You know, I think for anybody who has been waiting for this game, who's a big Devil May Cry fan, you will not be disappointed. You're going to be really happy. And what a beginning to this year with Kingdom Hearts, Resident Evil 2, and now Devil May Cry 5. I mean, this is great stuff, and having a lot of fun. The music is, as you know, I know a lot of people, I was talking to Alpha Mega Sin about it, he doesn't like the new style of music as the series has gone along, but I can honestly say that I do like the music quite a lot. It's kind of like an electronic metal style of music, and I know in the original it was more kind of just like action-y and kind of orchestrated and kind of more spooky per se, where now it's like, you know, kind of gothy singing and metal and techno going on, and I gotta say, I kind of like that style of music as well. Especially in this game, it's become its own unique thing that Devil May Cry's music is so Devil May Cry. And that's also what I really like about this game as well. And I feel really at home. All the old sound effects are back as well. And yeah, as soon as I started up, I'm like, I'm playing a Devil May Cry game. And it's 2019, and it's goddamn great. And I'm so happy that I can come here today and say it. I got bags under the eyes tonight, guys, from playing this game. all night, but I've had one hell of an evening, and I hope all of you guys in a couple of days have the same sort of feeling that I've had with the game in my first few hours playing it at least. So anyways, guys, until next time.